So we are here at Black Point Marina, where there is a lot of activity going on at this time. You can take a look for yourself. We have seen multiple FWC officers, and we've been here about an hour, and more police have come to the scene at this time for the reports of a possible abduction. You can take a look at the scene right now, a heavy Miami-Dade police presence. We can even see a mobile command unit as well as crime scene investigators who just came to the scene. And just to give you some perspective of the damage left behind at these two horse farms, this pathway behind me, there were tossed around tents that were blocking the way, and even this stable right here that is meant to keep the horses inside was completely destroyed. And if you take a look over here, you will see that this tree snapped at its roots and landed on this car. And this was a very emotional night. Those who knew Lucy Fernandez say she was a light who loved her friends, family, and her faith. Tonight, many people gathering to pray for her and the other victims injured in this boat crash. Well, still small embers here, but when you talk with neighbors, they will tell you that, grass fires in this area is nothing new, but what they really cannot get used to is when it comes so close to their homes. And well into the night, we have seen a number of Miami-Dade police officers taking over this community after they got a call about a nanny and two children possibly being abducted, and thankfully they tell us that just after 9, all three were found safely. And considering what happened, this victim is in pretty good spirits. Earlier this morning, he was walking outside of his home when two individuals approached him. They attacked him and then stole his expensive BMW. And police say that they found that 16-year-old with a rifle and two handguns. These 12-year-olds were doing something that they do each and every day, that is waiting for their bus to go to school. But this morning was different when that 16-year-old walked up to them, demanded their phones, and when they said no, he shot them. So armed robbery and attempted murder, that is some of the serious charges that these teen faces in court today. That mother blaming the system for failing her son. But a big investigation going on here in Southwest Miami-Dade. Lots of police. We even see Miami-Dade Schools police out here. Nobody's being let in or out this area, but a possible abduction, 3 people, an adult and 2 children. We are still working to get more information, so once we do learn any more, we will be sure to let you know. So this all started in Fort Lauderdale. 2 juveniles stealing cars from a home, then police spotting one of those stolen cars, and then after it led to a chase. And the victim tells me that he asked the owner to test this establishment for mold, but instead of the owner addressing the issue, he says that the owner got very mad, started yelling racial slurs not only at him, but other people inside of this sports studio. It's certainly a bizarre moment for this mother. She considers this shopping plaza very safe, but that wasn't the case last month when she came into this market that is behind me, walking in there with her kids when she was attacked by a man. And it was all caught on camera. And that mother certainly did have the opportunity to break up that fight with her daughter and another student. Instead, she decided to join in on that brutal beating of this victim. And these suspects were truly trying to get away from troopers who were chasing them. They were going well over 90 miles per hour, even driving into oncoming traffic. In the end, 1 man would be arrested. And what led up to this shooting that did injure 3 people is unclear at this time, but it was all captured on camera. In that video, you can see that man rolling up on a wheelchair and opening fire with his rifle. And police say that while they were investigating, that man behind the shooting came back to the scene to turn himself in. And so that man that you did hear from in the story does tell me that his pregnant sister is still in the hospital at this time, suffering from some pain. And so at this time, we do know that this area is blocked off. We don't know exactly when it will reopen, but we have seen extra patrols in this area throughout the day. We do know that 6 people were taken to the hospital, all of them with minor injuries, but all expected to be okay. These are some serious charges against this 50-year-old mother: child abuse and battery. Deputies say that this mother had the chance to break up a fight between her own daughter and another 11-year-old girl. Instead, she joined in on the brutal attack. So better to be safe than to be sorry. That is the message from officials. Officials urging everyone to have water on hand, food, as well as fuel and other supplies. And 2 of the 3 people injured were brought here to Ryder Trauma Center. Another person driving themselves to the hospital. At last check, those 3 victims were all said to be in stable condition after the shooting. But what is still not clear is what caused that man to open fire. And this was an argument that was all over testing for mold. It will end with 1 man being called a racial slur, all of it captured on camera. And this woman was understandably devastated when she found out that her dog was taken. She said she felt empty and that she couldn't sleep, but thankfully earlier this morning, she was reunited with her dog. So the good news is that here in South Florida, we can breathe a bit. Ian at this time is strengthening and heading for that west coast of Florida. And there were thousands of people who did lose their life, and even others who made that ultimate sacrifice to save the lives of many others. Many people today reflecting on that tragic event in September of 2001. Sky 10 flying above a grass fire in Southwest Miami-Dade Wednesday.
A lot of concern.
You could see the smoke billowing into the air as the flames raged on. It happened at around 3:45 in the afternoon at Trinity Pineland Preserve
near Southwest 72nd Street and Southwest 76th Avenue.
I live in apartments nearby, and I was at the pool, and some other people noticed, oh, there's smoke.
I was going to go in the pool, and then I saw the fire.
People who live nearby sharing videos of just how close the inferno came steps away from their homes.
I wasn't able to come out. It was a lot of smoke.
Gloria Perez and her husband's fence burned as a result of the fire. They tell us the flames were surrounding their shed as well.
When something like this happens, you always think that you might have to run and leave everything behind.
Miami-Dade Fire Rescue tells us when they showed up, they saw large amounts of trees on fire and that the fire was spreading to a shed area. It would take more than 10 fire rescue units along with Florida Forestry Service Rangers to put out this fire. Our cameras capturing crews hard at work using heavy machinery to extinguish the flames. Neighbors just grateful no one was hurt and that no homes were destroyed.
It was very lucky for how the wind was blowing, that the wind was blowing it away from the homes here.
And the cause of this fire is still under investigation at this time, but fire rescue is asking anyone, especially those residents with any respiratory issues, to close their windows and to avoid this smoke by any means necessary. We're here in Southwest Miami-Dade tonight. I'm Joseph Ojo, Local 10 News. An emotional day for the Our Lady of Lourdes Academy family.
Holy Mary, Mother of God.
17-year-old student Lucy Fernandez losing her life after a boat crash that left nearly a dozen people injured.
It's like losing a sister. Everyone here, Lucy touched everyone's lives in some way or another.
Shock, instant denial.
Fernandez, who was involved in pair ministry and a member of the cross-country team, will be missed for her smile, her larger-than-life personality, and her faith, as described by those who knew her best.
She was known for being a light to others, very much grounded in her faith, very family-oriented.
Monday evening, a rosary prayer service held at the school Fernandez attended, many seen hugging and crying.
She was just like a ray of sunshine. I'm wearing yellow today because it was her favorite color.
Fernandez was on a boat carrying 14 people Sunday evening, which hit a navigational buoy in the water near Boca Chica Key, the impact throwing several people into the water. It was a multi-agency response to account for those missing. First responders taking some of the victims over to Black Point Marina, where they were triaged and checked out. 11 of the 14 on board suffering injuries ranging from minor to critical, including 4 who suffered traumatic injuries and had to be airlifted to Jackson South Hospital.
We prayed for the other girls who are currently injured.
We're all suffering through Katia and Coco in the hospital, and it's just a lot.
And the names and ages of the others who were injured in this boat crash have not yet been released. We're working to get the latest update on their condition as they recover in the hospital. Once we get any update, we'll be sure to let you know. We're here in Southwest Miami-Dade tonight. I'm Joseph Ojo, Local 10 News. Yes, this was definitely a game that was circled on the calendar of many, both Rattlers and Tigers fan. A game full of much excitement, a lot of anticipation here. Thousands packing Hard Rock Stadium, both sides hopeful that their team will come out on top.
Big Rattlers in the building. We finna turn up on that field. Go Rattlers!
It's a race to see who will have a leg up in the SWAC conference. The Orange Blossom Classic Sunday, putting the Rattlers of FAMU versus the Jackson State Tigers at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens.
I love it, man. I'm great to be here. The great atmosphere. I love FAMU. I grew up watching FAMU, but at the end of the day, they ain't got nothing on Jack State, baby.
Leading up to the game, a focus on the rich histories of HBCUs, many events building up the hype surrounding the game, like the Battle of the Bands. Sunday, our cameras capturing a lively Jackson State band, as well as the packed stadium of excited fans, some who traveled from very far.
Very excited, just like Coach Prime stated, we don't want to just win this year, we want to actually dominate.
The journey for some, though, a way to show their support for the young men traveling from Jackson, Mississippi, who are dealing with a water crisis.
We're doing what we can, just support us, get behind us, we can get through this crisis just like Flint, Michigan, and any other cities that did.
And so at this time, it is the fourth quarter, Jackson State running away with this game, but definitely still a fun weekend for many, capped off by this great game, fun events all around. Definitely a great weekend. We're here in Miami Gardens. I'm Joseph Ojo, Local 10 News.